let me show you what has been posted earlier on from the early hours of this morning up until now from none other than Nigerian music artist who is a close friend of Victor Osimhen, right? P Squared, or in this case, Mr. P Square, right? So one half of P Square, it's a duo, came on X to say, "Dear Chelsea FC fans, last summer both Mikel and I made every effort to secure the signing of Victor Osimhen for Chelsea, including engaging in a three-way call right up until the transfer deadline. I want to reassure all of you that we remain steadfast in our pursuit and will continue our efforts this summer. Fingers crossed, hashtag Agent P." Right? And if you thought that was it, nah, you are mistaken. He kept posting. So let's show you it all. "His dream team from my childhood has been Chelsea. I am so loving this football banter today." And he's tagged Victor Osimhen with the picture of Victor Osimhen as a kid in a Chelsea shirt, right? That iconic 2012 Champions League winning shirt. Then we got, quoting Manchester United, right? Someone posting that they want him to go to Man United. "Sorry, from his words last week, I also want to be playing football on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you know what that means, hashtag UCL." Listen, if this is anything to go by, Man United are out of the question, right? It's over. It's not happening, right? So, there's more. "I didn't say it, I will single-handedly buy Victor Osimhen. Mikel and I only did enough to persuade Osimhen to be convinced of joining Chelsea because of our closeness and love for the club. And we will be trying again this summer. Man U fans, hope this helps." He goes on to say as well, "Osimhen can never choose Man U over Chelsea. Last banter, y'all should have a lovely weekend." Okay? Close confidant, friend. And is he an agent? He's not an agent, but he's influential. I mean, he's got 1 million followers on here. He's influential for sure. He's convinced that, Osimhen to Chelsea still on. We're still working. Don't worry. It's going to be a long summer, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a long summer.
Stating this, Victor Osimhen is not in a hurry and expects a move from England. "I heard that if Chelsea buys Osimhen, Galatasaray will move for Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea." Now here's the situation. Manchester United are in the market, as well as Chelsea, as well as Arsenal, for a striker. Chelsea have always liked Victor Osimhen. And there is a post that I was supposed to... This is a post from Ben Jacobs a couple of days ago. A lot of people are confused and think there is a guarantee that some big expensive number 9 is coming in after Lim Delap. It was Delap who was priority target, which is also why he's been given the number 9 shirt too. If another one comes in, you think Jackson's future will come into question, who Maresca has big faith in, or they'd be overstocking, which could be dangerous. Now you see that, and then you see this, and then you question something. I get the idea that Liam Delap was priority for Chelsea because he worked previously with the manager, Enzo Maresca, while Enzo Maresca was the coach of the Manchester City Academy. But I think that means he was Enzo's priority. The close priority could be him. Now there was talk of Hugo Ekitike, but I don't think that's even happening. I think Florian Plettenberg's been speaking garbage like he always does, and I think Hugo Ekitike, if he's going to come to the Premier League, he's going to go to Liverpool. I do know Galatasaray have had interest in Nicholas Jackson before. And if they are interested in Nicholas Jackson now, they do want to bring Osimhen in to Galatasaray. Manchester United can't afford. Manchester United also want to bring in Victor Osimhen, but they don't have Champions League football, and they are not considering paying his wages. Neither are Chelsea. But if Chelsea were to let go of Nicholas Jackson to Galatasaray, the possibility that would mean they would go for Victor Osimhen, because there's obviously a reason in this whole scenario that Victor Osimhen hasn't agreed to go to Saudi Arabia, that he has not agreed to go to Galatasaray. Whatever that situation is, if it's Chelsea, if there's still the possibility that we're sitting in the background and waiting till later and later in the window, which I don't think, which just sounds stupid and naive if you're a Chelsea Football Club, bringing in Liam Delap for the Club World Cup when you could have brought in a big name as Victor Osimhen for the Club World Cup, kind of annoys me. But if they're waiting later in the window to bring in signings like Victor Osimhen, like Mike Mannion and others, maybe there's a reason. Maybe because Chelsea think as long as they can get as much money from the Club World Cup as possible, even if it's just to the round of 16 or whatever, as much as they can get as much money, maybe they're thinking that will help us afford to bring in these players. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I'm not speaking for Chelsea, but I'm just saying maybe that's why the scenarios of Mike Mannion not getting done, that these other scenarios. Osimhen is a Chelsea fan. He's been a Chelsea fan for his whole life. Him and John Obi Mikel have spoken about how much they love Chelsea. But the problem will still be his wage. Will Chelsea make an exception for Victor Osimhen? I don't think so. However, if it's a push and Nico Jackson departs the football club, maybe they will find a way. But I'm not fully 100% sure. Do I want Victor Osimhen at Chelsea? Yes. He's the better striker. But would he wear the number 18 or the number 15? I don't know. Because Delap's the number 9. And I don't know if that's just for the Club World Cup or if that's for the whole season in general. I just think if Chelsea were, it just seems like a decision that I don't like them not doing before the Club World Cup. Maybe that's why he is waiting, because he knows Chelsea still have interest in him, and he's waiting to see. But John Obi Mikel has literally said that he's given up on Chelsea going for Victor Osimhen. So I am kind of confused. I don't know how much reliable this guy is. But if it's still a distinct possibility that Victor Osimhen wears a Chelsea shirt next season, I would be all for it, because we need a striker like him in the Premier League. It will just be interesting to see if they were to go for it, how they would go for it. Considering he is actually cheap, he is currently the cheaper striker over the names that have been linked with Chelsea. Like Frankfurt wanted 100 million for Hugo Ekitike. Sporting want 100 million euros, around 100 million euros for Victor Gyökeres. RB Leipzig want at least 80 to 90 million for Benjamin Sesko. Bringing in Osimhen and Delap for way less than those two, way less, could be for like Delap costs 30. If we get Osimhen for 60, 70, that's two talented strikers. One that can learn a lot from a player like Victor Osimhen, and then Victor Osimhen himself. I just don't know where Chelsea are going to go with it. It will be interesting to see. Because, yes, they still have interest, but they have not made a move. I'm just bringing you what I've seen. I don't know how reliable this guy is, but it's just it's still a distinctive possibility that they could make that decision, especially if Nico leaves.